While practicing social distancing, many of us have binge-watched countless film and television series, both old and new. Perhaps even The Unicorn, a CBS sitcom starring Walton Goggins, which premiered during the fall 2019 broadcast season. If you've been keeping up with the show, you may or may not have noticed a recent episode was directed by a former Burlington resident. Lauren Hennessy, a member of the BHS Class of 2007, graduated with a bachelor's in biology from Union College, but found herself gravitating towards filmmaking. She then received her master's in screenwriting at American University in 2014. Hennessy now works as a producer at a production company run by John Hamburg, who is responsible for the creation of films like Meet the Parents, Zoolander, and I Love You Man, and the series The Unicorn.
I've been here for, 4 years producing and wanting to direct, but also sort of doing my regular job of producing his stuff. And the opportunity arose to direct an episode of The Unicorn and sort of kickstart that part of my career. And John directed the pilot. And so we, as John's producing partner, we get a lot of scripts incoming every development season for broadcast for him to direct. And so this was one that we both just responded to. And so he directed the pilot. He continued and did a few more episodes this first season and a couple of the second season, especially with COVID. He decided to come back to sort of keep as many variables straight as possible. So I knew the crew really well and the network and all those people. So I had a nice support system around me for this first directing thing.
Hennessy explained the challenges of directing a large studio production through the COVID-19 pandemic.
I was glad to have had a couple episodes under my belt not directing while John was directing, just to get used to the COVID guidelines. We're very fortunate that CBS put in a lot of time and effort and money into making sure we were safe. It took a little getting used to have eyewear and masks and all that stuff, a lot of projecting. It's a little funny, you're not all in the same room necessarily, your camera operators or maybe a remote or depending your setup. So it was a little bit of getting used to, but I had, like I said, a strong support system of crew and that I knew, and the cast was very supportive and encouraging, and it was a great experience in spite of all the COVID protocols.
In the director's chair, Hennessy learned to expect the unexpected during production.
I am a person who likes to be fully prepared, I think, even just in the way of how I got to directing. But at the end of the day, no matter how much I prepared, on the day, you're still going to have to throw it out the window and be ready for anything. My episode had dogs, and we had, which are difficult. And obviously there's kids. The actors are very talented, but we had FaceTimes, which we did practically because I think they look much better. There was challenges that you just have to, no matter how much you prepare, no matter how many times you test the Zoom call or the FaceTime, inevitably on the day, when you're an hour behind or whatever the issue is, something's going to go wrong. And so it was a lesson for me of like, prepare, and then be ready to throw it out the window.
Back home in Burlington, Hennessy's episode of The Unicorn received rave reviews.
My family still all lives in Burlington. I'm very close with my high school friends still. And so it was we had a fun little watch party together over Zoom, all my Burlington friends. It was a lot of fun. It feels like kind of weird to be like, it doesn't feel totally real that it was a TV show because I'm living in it right now. So it doesn't feel totally real, like it's like a thing that people at home would have also seen.
While The Unicorn is currently on hiatus, Hennessy hopes to direct more in future, either on the series or other potential projects.
We're, waiting to hear. The broadcast cycle has sort of a pattern of when they'll decide what will go next season. So we're waiting to hear if we'll get a third season on The Unicorn. But if not, whether it's The Unicorn or something else, I'd hope to continue directing, yeah.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty with your BNEWS Entertainment Buzz.